Yeah, I want to share something about that too. I read a study that stereotypes Asians as subservient and does not fight back. That we're too timid to say anything, and that is true. I've experienced that so many times that I have to speak up and put people in their places, not because I want to fight, but because I want to set limits. There are some things that you need to remember. If it's your work coworker that's doing that, there is a CMS guideline for bullying. It's part of the compliance policy of every company that follows the CMS. CMS is the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Technically, it's the biggest payer for healthcare facilities. If the hospitals or nursing facilities do not follow CMS, they don't get reimbursed. So everybody follows. Think of PhilHealth in the Philippines, but this one is bigger. CMS controls the healthcare, the Medicare. So they have a compliance policy where one of the main rule is no bullying. If somebody's bullying you, speak up, but do not engage them into a fight because these people are like 200 pounds, 6 footer. And if I am 5'4" and 140 pounds, they can crush my bones. I mean, of course, that's another legal side of it. But I mean, if it becomes physical, your life can be in danger. But if it's a workplace that's bullying you with assignments, with words, with discriminatory actions, racism, about your gender, about your identity, about your beliefs. Well, there's a bullying policy in every hospital. Find that policy, document what happened by sending an email to your immediate superiors, whether it's your supervisor or manager or director. And if it doesn't get solved, raise it to the HR. If not, well, there's two things that you can do. If it's a big healthcare facility, there should be a compliance director that oversees the corporate, or the CMS can help you. And that's a whistleblower thing. There's so many things that can protect you. Please do not be scared to speak up, especially if it's discriminatory and against your belief. And I don't deal with drama. I make friends, but I select my friends. Having been a nurse and having met thousands of people over the year and worked with so many different kind of attitudes, I know how to select my friends. I may be um, you may be my acquaintance, but that doesn't mean we're friends. So I keep my circle small. That's what I always ensure, and those people I trust. Um, I come to work and all with a mindset that I'm there to work, not to be involved in drama, not to be involved in any fight. I'm there to provide quality service to my patients. I'm there to be a good nurse for my coworkers, a team player. I'm not there to deal with so and so fight, pick sides, spread rumors, make fun of somebody. I'm not there for that. And you don't want to be in that because they can turn it against you because you're an Asian, you're the subservient one, right? So that's my mindset. If I hear people talking about drama, I'm just neutral. I can pretend that I'm agreeing, or sometimes I pretend, I'm sorry, I don't understand. You guys are speaking too fast, and it's in English. And I'm a Filipino, so there's so I didn't understand, but I heard everything. You know what I mean? Just as long as they're not talking about me. So
Yeah.
just don't get involved with those things. Try to avoid drama. You're just there to work, and if somebody's trying um to bully you, well, guess what? At the end of the day, the employers will always choose the person that delivers their job well and excellently, despite your attitude or whatever, versus a person who always fights back or causes drama or causes a lot of um, whatever, what you call that, incidents or whatever. So just be on the neutral side of things. And if it's a patient that's being a Karen, well, that's different because now the patient has a lot of rights, right? But sometimes you gotta set limits. What I've learned from my coworkers here, because Filipinos are so scared to say something with patients. And let me tell you, I work in the ER. Physical, verbal abuse, I see every day. Have I experienced it? Verbally, yes, a lot of times. This is ER. We're dealing with psych patients, with demanding patients, with patients who wants dilaudid every time. Physically, no, because I'm smarter than that. Every time somebody's trying to be physically abusive, or I can see that they're escalating and they want to do physical aggression, well, I step out of the room real quick. And when they start swinging, well, guess what? I'm small. I can crawl.
Just out
But
of the way.
they're gonna teach you how to do a non physical. We have trainings. We need to be certified in the hospital. The non physical dealing with things. Always have 1 foot of your door to. I mean, 1 foot to the door, which means be ready to exit the door anytime. Do not go to any corner of the room for a physically aggressive patient, of course. So you want to be approaching them, but with a distance, something like that. But be ready to exit. That's always what I remember. So when they start swinging, they start shouting, I'm like, okay, um, I cannot stay in this room with you disrespecting me like this. I respect you as my patient and I'm here to help and not to hurt you. Now, if you don't want to talk to me in a very respectful way, well, I'll let you calm down and I will come back later and address your concerns. So sometimes you have to set limits because if you don't, they're going to keep shouting at you.
Yeah.
But do not engage them physically, please. I've seen nurses trying to
No,
fight back,
no.
especially if in your Texas, the T-Bone or the Texas Board of Nursing is known to be one of the strictest board ever. They're gonna put it on your record. They're not gonna hesitate on that. Um, do not engage them. I've seen people fight back and they got a permanent record in their licenses. So please do not fight back. All right. Exit the room with a smile and tell them happy to serve. I'm just kidding. It's SM.
That's yeah. No, but
Tanya,
let me
That
just
was sorry, that
well,
was
let
such
me
an
just
interesting,
sorry.
such an interesting to say. Yannie, you wanted to say quickly?
Oh no, I'm just saying. Let me just interject because, um, with Paul, with Paul coming from the hospital side, and in my case, being in a rural nursing home, we don't have any of that compliance stuff. I am not even kidding. It works
I'm so
differently in
sorry.
really small towns. I am not even kidding. When I got bullied, and I had to escalate it, the DON and all that. You know what the director of nursing sent me through an email, and I can even show it to everyone. And then she goes, well, maybe if you stood up for yourself more instead of letting them boss you around, maybe then they'll respect you. That's exactly what she said. Although I have to admit, I learned how to fight back, but that's exactly what she said. This was their former director of nursing. I love our current director of nursing. This was her former director of nursing. She also has her pros, she also has her cons. But basically, while I was being bullied and while I was seeking help, that's the response that I got. Like, what the hell? And um, when a med aide overstepped her duty and her boundary with me, and I'm the RN, I'm the higher ranking one. They took her side because she was 16 years tenured, more than me. And I was the one who got moved to another unit. But the thing was, I do my job. There's a reason I was nominated Caregiver of the Year. And I'm not saying this to brag. You could seriously come to a facility and ask how I do my job. It's the reason I got many of the residents' families talking to me and all that, or inviting me to go places. But anyway, um, so then the other unit wanted me back, and I said no, mainly because one, I'm now in a position to choose, and my current unit is the unit that I choose to stay up until my contract ends. I mean, I can be pulled, sure, and I don't want to work that unit, and everybody knows my feelings for that unit, but a job is a job. You won't catch me whining. You won't hear me be like the other nurses who are like, why, I can only work one floor. Please, you're just lazy. And I'm not that person. You can pull me any floor, I know how to do my job. All I ask is you actually respect what I can and cannot do. Because sometimes what they do between me and that other Filipino nurse, because we're the only ones who can be pulled to any other floor and we would know what to do. The way we were trained is that we were thrown to these floors with zero orientation. Trust me, that cannot fly in hospitals, major cities. That cannot fly. There's got to be an orientation. But we were so understaffed, and this was 2016. That's how we were trained. We were only orientated one floor, and then the rest of the time we were thrown to other floors, zero orientation. But we learned. We learned to strategize because we're Filipinos and we're resourceful. But the thing is, whenever we're understaffed, then they would be throwing us to first floor one day, psych unit the next day, third floor the next day. And I told them, I pick up shifts, I do my job, I come on time. Why do I feel like I'm being punished for doing what I'm supposed to do? And this demotivates me. So then they sent me a thank you email and all about appreciation for my flexibility. And I explained to them, I don't want to be flexible. I don't want to be pulled to other floors. But here's the thing. This is what the situation calls for it. But what I don't understand is, why am I the only nurse, with the exception of the other Filipino nurse? Why are we the only ones being treated this way? So they started pulling other nurses to other floors too. But just saying, it took me a long time to say that. So it
Yeah,
does
that's true.
differ
It
from
happened. It
management
happened
to
to me
Right.
as well.
Yeah.
It happened to me as well. Just because they know
Well,
that we're flexible, to the point that nobody wants to work the pediatric ER floor, and I get
yeah.
sent there all the time. Like, I mean, I need my adult experience here, so I had to speak up to my manager, and always remember, guys, protect your licenses. If there's somebody who's trying to
yeah.
jeopardize your license, if there's something that I can say is, do not trust anyone. The problem with us Filipinos, we're so trusting with everyone. Remember, not because they smile at you, they like you. At the end of the day, it's you who's gonna be standing there at the court protecting. I mean, defending your license. Do not jeopardize your license. I had a charge nurse before, and I worked in a night shift, and most of my night shifters are new nurses, baby nurses, less than 3 years experience, and he's very manipulative. He's been in nursing for 20 years. He wants nurses to do the way he wants it, and some of them are not even by policy. It's breaching the policy, which
Yeah.
actually tells you that the standards of care is not right. So if something happens to the patient, the first thing that the judge asks you is, did you follow the standards of care, which is your policy, right? So I told him, I'm not gonna do that. You do you, I do me, right? Let me do it my way, the right way, right? So he got upset. Ever since then, he's become very abrasive towards me, and to the point that he was bullying. I just documented everything, sent messages to my director. So if something happens, everything is documented, right? Well,
And I
several
think that's really good advice, Paul, is to document in
document.
those instances. And I hate to cut you short, but we've had such a fun and interesting discussion today, and learned so much from Yannie, from a totally different environment, to what Paul and Jean and Giselle. I'm so sorry that we lost Giselle, and hopefully he'll join us back. But I think that the discussion today has just been so interesting. And I think will be so valuable for so many people that are watching, that have no idea of the differences that exist in the different parts of the country, the differences that exist when you're working in a nursing home as opposed to a hospital. And I think the stories and the experiences that you've shared are just, incredibly important and informative. So thank you so much for sharing that. I think the one thing to remember, as everybody on the panel has said, and I always believe, is that people are good. Generally speaking, people are good. People are nice. But, in every place, in every facility, you might find some bad apples. And I think that Yannie, Paul, and Jean, and Giselle, for the little bit that he was with us today, were really able to share some of the experiences and how to handle it, which is the most important thing. Stay away from the drama, document, be assertive, and all of the things that we just spoke about today.